That's all it needs.
Fear and confusion. Fear is definitely the element. Fear is the element of how it's approached, because you got to install fear first. When you get fear installed, confusion comes right with it.
See, and then
right.
yeah.
Oh yeah,
and then the confusion's out and
just like, oh, what do I do?
Well, and the confusion gets compounded by all the theories that fly around and shit.
Yeah.
Half of which are just spread by assholes fucking just trying to keep the shit fucking confused.
Yeah.
Don't confuse the issues, brother.
Yeah, so I mean...
Don't make me rap about it. You know I'll bust a rap right now about it. On the spot. I'll threaten that again.
Yeah, so I don't know. Well, here's the thing. I mean, how can any country sustain this is beyond, I think, anyone's comprehension. And I mean, what I mean by that is, okay, so what? Give it another 2-3 years of this Corona crap. You know, where they're going to shut down the world every winter time. Oh, it's coming. We got to shut down. How many countries can actually sustain that kind of, shutdown?
4.
Probably. Really, at most.
All the little ones got wiped out last time.
They got wiped out last time.
The medium ones would get wiped out coming this
Only
a handful of big boys are going to last.
Yeah.
Everybody else
so you're talking what?
Dead.
The ones that are going to last is what? Like U.S., Canada, Brazil, maybe some countries in Europe.
Probably
Russia.
Saudi Arabia probably would last because they got the money.
They got the money, and then what? You're talking what? The Chinas and what?
Well, supposedly Russia's they're set up pretty well to deal with this.
Well,
they're used to suffering.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, they've got all their checks in place,
Well, yeah, but here's the thing, though, too. Russia, you look at their population. It's what? The largest country in the world? Really? I mean, their population is so sparse, I mean, yeah, but at the same time, look at it this way, though. As far as... These are hardened people, man. I mean, you just got to look at, like, the element they live in, man. I mean, most of the Russian population is in what? Super ass cold environment. I mean, they've lived that shit for hundreds of years, man. So, I don't know. Like Matt said, these people are they're used to suffering. Period.
Yeah,
I mean, that's part of
survivors and
survivors. That's part of the nature, man.
They'd be like, "Oh, shit got hard. I didn't even notice."
And if you think about it, like the history of Europe. What as far as like tribal concept? What did you really have? Germanic, Slavic tribes. Really? I mean, if you think about it, what is England? What is any of the other countries that are there? They're pretty much derived from, Germanic tribes. Even English derived in what? 5th, 6th century from German.
England?
No, the English language itself. 6th century.
German is the mother tongue of English by way of structure. Latin being the other component to come in and actually form the language.
But as far as the words itself, too.
Well, and the grammatical structure.
Well, grammatic and
the
whole nine. I'm just saying that English was established through German in 6th century, more or less.
Yeah.
you know, you look at like most of the Slav languages, you know, like Polish, Russian, you know, Ukrainian, you know, except Russian, they took on totally different grammar as far as that would be, you know, as far as the alphabet. It's not a
Greek?
Yeah.
Alpha, beta.
Yeah.
Delta.
Yeah. Sure. Whereas we're what, Roman? What else? Yeah.
Well, the two main components of the English language are German for structure, Latin for verbiage, like the words, you know, kind of derived from Latin. With well, obviously there's some Greek in there somewhere too.
Yeah, of course.
Probably the alphabet itself is probably the Greek.
Greek, yeah.
Dealio.
Yeah.
What do you think, man?
Could be. Yeah, I mean, English definitely has some
Roots.
German words that are the same.
Oh yeah.
You know, definitely Spanish, Italian, all those Latin-based things. And, yeah, it's kind of a weird mixture, you know.
Bastard language.
But it seems normal to us. But
It seems normal to us. Fucking hey. Fucking fuck to the yes it does. Holy shit balls.
We got our own
Oh, here. This is a point
style.
This is a point I want to make about language. The English language is, I think, one of the most
Supposedly it's the number one language on Earth still, so.
well, it has the capacity for really finite descriptions. You know, its descriptors are like unmatched in a way. Because, like synonyms, antonyms, homonyms, all of those things exist. You have a sea of words that are similar to each other, but not the same. Nuances, shades of things. You know, like frustrated is not angry, is not mad, is not rage. They're all of the other, but they are not the same things. That kind of shit.
Yeah. I looked up a word earlier. I was trying to think of something, but it has two meanings. You ever heard the word foamation?
Foamation? To foamate?
Yeah.
Yes.
It means to get, like, super pissed.
Yes.
But, like, slowly building up, I guess.
Like ember style.
To the point you aggregate.
Yeah, you fucking lose your shit.
Aggregate?
Okay,
Have you ever heard of that word?
Well, aggregate is gathering together, right? Like, you talking about aggravate?
No, aggregate.
Spell it.
Yeah, aggregation,
remember?
I think, is when
Yes,
you, like, gather
but I can't.
things.
I can't remember how to spell it, but aggregate actually means to use foul language.
Let's see. Let's see if we can find it here.
Yeah.
Well, there's exaggerate, aggravate, aggregate.
Yeah, but aggregate is to use foul language.
Let's see. It says, well, of course, it's going straight to aggregate as a whole formed by combining several elements, material structure formed from a loosely compacted mass of fragments of particles, form calculated by the combination of many separate units or items, forming a classic cluster. Yeah. Was it aggregate?
Was it aggregate?
Oh.
Yeah, aggregate is like bringing things, like a warehouse. You bring
Well, sure.
Yeah, to
Sure.
aggregate things.
Yeah.
Yeah. What was that word? Which was like old land. No, it wasn't aggregate. Hold on. It was. What was it, Matt?
I don't remember.
I don't remember, but it was like one of these old words.
Listen,
Oh
old
yeah, they
words.
got some crazy old terms.
Yeah.
Greg
There's
likes
a
to.
lot of language we don't even use anymore. Like 100 years ago.
See, and that's the thing. Like, we all would probably agree to some extent that the average American today, the like
Has less understanding.
language skills, literacy, yada yada, is kind of woefully declined in a way. But and the use of, especially when you see people like when they hyper abbreviate things, like there's even like terms on the internet only, all that like BRB, LOL, OMGs, and all that stuff. And so it dumbs it down even further. And like, man, you get one or two generations of people that you go through that's how they understand to communicate. Motherfucker, like Shakespeare would look like a completely foreign language to them. It's all fucked
Yeah, they're
up.
like LOL, laughy face.
Yeah, H8 and all that shit. And yeah. Stop the H8. Fucking, yeah. Are we actually sitting here like a bunch of fucking ball sacks fucking lamenting the fucking illiteracy of the United States? Holy shit.
That's part of the downfall, right?
It is. It's true. It's true, man.
But that's part of it. Yeah, it's
But my question is always like, why do people just stop giving a shit?
I'll put it like a funny spin on it. You got like I was talking to one of the guys at work, and he's like, yeah, I just don't understand why people, just constantly, just believe in this crap and this and that. I go, and that's when I told him, I go, because you have majority of the population is like equivalent to a peasant. Like you can you can take a
back to the peasants.
You can take someone 1,000 years ago, right? You can refer to them as a peasant because you tell them some ooga booga stuff, and next thing you know, like kind of like because we were talking about the same thing. We were talking about this Wuhan virus, the China virus. And he's like, oh, I don't understand why people. I'm like, yeah, okay, so you can because they have the their wavelength of thinking is like a peasant, and if you think about it, it hasn't really changed over thousands of years. So you can go back 1,000 years ago, and you can tell them like, oh man, if you don't give like half your food to the king, you're gonna get some kind of a disease or plague is coming or this and that, and they believe in that shit. I mean, it's a peasant mentality,
Yeah, because the king, if you don't give him half your shit, he's gonna be like, I'm gonna fucking shut down your job, bitch, and tell you can't go outside.
But I'm just like, just the belief system is like.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's
you know
like,
what I mean?
That's what they'd say 1,000 years ago. They'd be like, you'll get a sickness if you don't obey the king.
Exactly. What's happening right now? It's the same
God will punish
shit, man. I mean, so you got, like, you can look at a peasant 1,000 years ago and in today's society, pretty much everyone thinks like a fucking peasant. Because...
Yeah, like a fucking slave, dumbass.
Well, yeah, like a fucking peasant. And it's this... And the thing is like, they in Poland, they always joked about it, too. He's like, oh, yeah, there's different, there's different ways you can describe the same thing. It's like my dad always said, he came out of the village with hay sticking out of it, hay sticking out of his shoes, and he thinks he can, change the way this or that. It's like, no, if you have hay sticking out of your shoes, you're over your head half the time. And that means like what was he saying about like even like, I mean, this is cruel and raw and crazy, but he's like, yeah, straight out of the jungle into a Cadillac. It's like,
What in the world?
like
are we talking about right now?
And the thing is like, what I mean is lifestyle. Like,
sure.
Okay, so
radical.
Okay, yeah. So like for instance, the turn of the century, the industrialism gave us all these wonderful